Is YouTube like a job to me? The reason I phrase it like that is because there's a lot of YouTubers out there that, for them, this is a job. They're monetized, and or they are making income from other sources. You know, you've got things like Super Chats and Patreon, Subscribe Star, Contributors, PayPal. You've got merchandise. You've got sponsors. I mean, there's multiple ways to be financially compensated for being on YouTube, as well as the compensation of being invited to events that the general public isn't allowed to go to, or getting free stuff or things like that. All of that is some form of monetary compensation. And there's nothing wrong with that. We're a capitalist society. I want it to stay that way. I do have a disagreement with some YouTubers about how they go about doing it, because there's so many YouTubers out there that do this in a professional, tasteful manner, and then there's a bunch of e-beggars out there that are just tacky. But I don't disagree with making money off of YouTube. So for a lot of YouTubers, they jump on because they see somebody else doing this and they're getting free stuff or what have you, right? And they're like, well, I can do that, you know, and like I've said in the past, there's not enough room at the top for everybody. If you think overnight you're going to be the next Hickok 45, you're not. All right? I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's going to take a lot of hard work and some dumb luck, seriously, to make it big on YouTube, where this could be your full-time gig, where this instead of working a regular job, this is your job or your career. So it's not impossible, but it's so difficult. I don't advise somebody to jump on this with stars in their eyes thinking that they're going to get rich quick. I do advise people to give it a try, especially the people that like to troll channels. Why don't you try it for a while, pal? You won't, because you ain't got the balls to do it. But regardless, there are ways that YouTube can supplement somebody's income at their regular job, or supplement their retirement, or something like that. Or maybe you can just make YouTube pay for itself, or almost pay for itself. The reason I would be monetized is strictly for the tax breaks. I don't expect to get rich, but if I could write off some of this shit on my taxes, that would be nice. Maybe one day I will be monetized and I will do that. I'll have to hire an accountant, but I'll cross that bridge when I get there. When I first got onto YouTube years ago, it was a lot easier to be financially compensated for doing this. Over the years, it's gotten more and more difficult. And in the beginning, I decided I didn't want to go that route. Let me find out if I even like this. You see, I'm not a social media kind of person. YouTube is the only social media I do. And it was a big leap for me to jump onto YouTube. It really was. I never thought that being on YouTube would go in the direction it went. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's actually been really positive for the most part. There have been some negative parts of it, and I've learned about the industry, the YouTube industry, especially from the Second Amendment or firearms perspective. But I've learned about the industry, and on this side of the glass, it's pretty ugly. There are lots of people out there who will deceive their audience. They will flat out lie. They'll complain about the anti-gunners lying, or the mainstream media lying, or that sort of thing, right? But then they'll go ahead and they'll lie or exaggerate in order to build their analytics. Maybe they'll have a bad month, right? Oh my goodness, the check came in last month and it was this much, and this month I'm not getting shit. What do I got to do? What do I got to do? And they kind of stoop to a level that, for some of these people, I know they're a better person than that, but it's their choice. And we all have different degrees of what we consider moral or ethical or that sort of thing. And I've just seen some people that I personally know say and do some things that are kind of hypocritical, and also just kind of, I don't respect what they've done. So, take it for what it's worth. But I kind of said, what if I start making money and I start liking it, and then I have to go to this level to do that? And the reason I was thinking this in the beginning, before I had ever really given it a try, is because I had seen what some other channels were doing, and it's kind of like, nah, that's kind of dishonest. It's kind of douchey, that sort of thing. So there were just all kinds of reasons I had, and I said I just don't want to go there. As I've learned the industry, I've learned from my friends about some of the things that stress them out. And I have enough things in my life that can stress me out. So that further reinforced my desire not to be financially compensated for this, because I just didn't want that added stress. I've looked into it again and again. Somebody out there is going to go, you ain't got the analytics to be compensated. Why are you talking about it? Okay, look, dude, here's the deal. I know what kind of videos and other things to do in order to build my numbers. Those are just things I don't want to do. I don't see anything wrong with it. If that's what you want to do on your channel, whether it be just because you're driven by money or because this is what you do, so be it, okay? That's just not my thing. But I know exactly what to do and how to be clickbaity and everything else in order to build my numbers faster. I just don't want to do that. It's not because I think I'm holier than thou. It's just because I don't want to do that. It's kind of funny. I've seen YouTubers throw money at their channel, invest money into trips and gear and products to review and all this horse shit, right? Thinking they're going to get a quick return on investment, and they don't. But it's like, I know you have to spend money to make money. That's capitalism. That is. But I've seen so many people just throw everything at it, and then they get frustrated, disappointed. Sometimes they even just quit. They just quit because it's like, hey, I put all this into it. Why ain't the money rolling in? Dude, it doesn't work like that. I'm not saying that investing money into your channel is a bad thing, but it's a personal choice. There are some people that do exactly what I'm doing right now. I am driving to work with my cell phone turned on, talking into it, and their channels are successful. I'm not saying that's the perfect model. There is no perfect business model for YouTube. You could do exactly the same thing somebody else does, and it's just not working, right? I'm not saying it's not wrong in order to be inspired by somebody. Hell, if you want to plain flat out copy them, as long as you're not stealing their videos, I guess, sure. I mean, it's a free society. Do what you want. Maybe you can do it better. But it's not always, the way to go, well, I'll just do what they're doing and I'm just going to cash in. It just doesn't work like that. So you don't necessarily have to invest money in order to make money off of this. It might help. It could help. Depending on what you're doing, it might be a necessary evil. But once again, it's a personal choice. And I don't want to look at YouTube like that. I'm having fun doing this. I know I get like 16 views on a video. Fuck it. I get 16 views. If I get no views, fuck it. I did the video my way. I shot videos about things I was interested in. I talked about things I was interested in. Just like the Speaking Squibbish. I don't expect this to do anything. This is my opportunity to be transparent with my audience. Unlike some YouTubers who, like I said before, they deceive their audience. They lie about things. They flat out lie to their audience. I'm not. This is who I am. Take it or leave it. I don't give a fuck. I ain't trying to change your mind. I ain't trying to say you got to be like me or else you're wrong or any of that other horseshit. I don't care about that. This is who I am. If you don't like it, just don't watch. Fuck you. I don't care. So, and I want to kind of keep it that way. So I've got 5 YouTube channels, and out of the 5, there's only one that I think I could ever really monetize, and then YouTube probably wouldn't touch it. Even if their terms of service get more and more strict, I just don't see them, unless there's some new law passed or something like that, I just don't see them messing with it. That channel is so far from being monetized, it's not even a concern to me. And actually, that's the channel I've been putting more time into in the past year, and I'm having more fun with. It's one of my B channels. And having fun is important to me. Really, the way I've been compensated over the years for being on YouTube are all the friends that I've made. That's something I never expected out of this. I never thought my channel, my A channel would grow. And I never thought I'd start up a B channel or 2 or 3 or 5 or anything else like that. I never thought I would do any of this stuff. But one thing I had no intention on in the beginning was making friends. And it's something that's just sort of happened over the years. And that, to me, is worth more than any check I would get or any free shit I would get. Which, by the way, over the years, I've gotten probably less than $1,000 in free shit. Most of it's been swag, but some of it has been products. I've turned down probably 2/3 of what has been offered to me because I didn't agree with, I would never use this product myself, so why am I going to show you how to use it or tell you to use it, right? Or I ask them questions about the product and they're like, hey, just do the review. And it's like, no, I'm sharing something with my audience. Can you tell me where it's made or why this is better than 30 other products that are exactly the same? And they just shut right the fuck up, right? I mean, If you've seen me push certain products, it's not because I'm kissing the ass of some of these companies so that I get a sponsorship. Sure, I'd love to have a sponsorship, but it's got to be sincere. It's got to be on my terms, so it's probably never going to happen. I push these products because I use them or I believe in them. Like, things made in America or just the quality of something like that. That's all. If anything, I push buying new cars because I'm in the auto industry, guys. It behooves me to push buying new cars. I do think it's a better decision than buying a used car because of my experience in life, but at the end of the day, I want everybody to buy new cars as often as possible because it lines my pocket. So, and I'm never going to get sponsored by the big three. So, other than that, I joke around about being a shill and stuff like that, but I'm not. So it's not like a job to me because of all of those reasons. I'm not saying I'm better than other YouTubers. I just am approaching this differently. I'm going to do it my way. It's going to succeed or fail. And it's going to cost as much as I want it to or don't want it to. And that's what it's going to be. YouTube has to be on my terms. I know they have terms of service and shit like that. Matter of fact, there's a notification popped up at the top of my studio page for this channel. It says, if you take this online class, we'll remove your community strike. And it's like, what the fuck is this? Is this like, if you go to so many hours of counseling, we'll pull this off of your criminal record. What the fuck, man? I'll probably do it just to see what it's like. But, if YouTube pulls me, so be it. I'll either come back or it'll free up a lot of time, which is the other thing that I should talk about when I say, is YouTube like a job to me? Yes, it is. Because I put a lot of work into this. I put hours of work into this. Sometimes daily, sometimes weekly. I do a lot with YouTube that you would think I'm making money off of this. If you saw me behind the scenes, how many hours. Like every morning when I get up and get my coffee, I'm editing videos. I'm loading stuff in the studio. I'm scheduling stuff to post. I'm doing other kinds of work. Right before I walked out the door today, I took a picture with this cell phone of something I'm going to make a community post of this afternoon when I get home. I mean, literally, took a picture, put the phone back in my manning pack, grabbed my to-go cup, jumped in the truck, and left. So I'm always thinking about videos to make or other things to do. I'm purchasing things to do reviews on, maybe a little bit sooner. I was going to buy all this shit anyhow, right? But maybe I buy it a little bit sooner than I planned because I want to make a video on it. I try to integrate my videos into everything I do when we're on vacation, as I'm driving to work, at work for one of my channels. While I'm hunting, you name it, right? So I try to exercise time management. I'm always thinking of shit that can go onto YouTube. And I don't care if people like it. I don't care if it gets views or builds my analytics. What I care about, it is fun to look at the analytics, by the way, but what I care about is I'm happy with it and I'm having fun. You may think this is stupid. You may think this is irrelevant. You may tell me this is never going to make me any money. I don't care. It's going to be my way or I'm not doing it. So that's why YouTube is and isn't like a job to me. It might mean something to somebody else, but that's them and that's their channel. This is me and these are my channels. Thanks for listening.